Hello, how are you? Hope you're good. So I read Raven Boys quite a long time ago now, not that long, but a little bit long. I've been originally planning to do something really fun with this review, but then realized, you know what, I'm gonna forget it by the time I actually try and attempt to do what I wanted to do. Maybe one day, maybe with another book. So the first part of this video, as always, gonna be spoiler free for anyone who hasn't read this book, and then I'm probably gonna do a little bit of just talking about it. I didn't take notes or anything, so I'm just gonna go for it. If you haven't heard about The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, then why? It's been pretty much everywhere. It's hard not to know about this book, but if you don't, it's about our main character, Blue. I sort of thought like, must have like quite hippie parents, and I think I was right. So we're following Blue, who is born into a clairvoyance family. She doesn't necessarily have those powers herself, but her whole family does. She lives with her mother and I think her sisters or something. I actually don't really know who the other people in the household were, which is a bit weird, but let's forget about it for a bit. And at the very beginning, she sort of has like this prophecy thing happening to her, that she's gonna meet a boy and that boy is gonna be in danger, and that boy is actually from a group of schoolboys from a particularly prestigious academy, I suppose, that are called Raven Boys, hence the name. And it's a whole group, and she gets sort of tangled into this supernatural-esque hunt of an old myth that they believe is gonna help them out with particulars. I really don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. And it has this semi-misleading thing here. It says if you kiss your true love, he will die, like just on the book. And it makes it sound like it's just all about love, which it isn't, and I was really glad it isn't. It's sort of like more like it's a very atmospherical book, and it has this mystery supernatural thing going on with it, and it's quite a character driven book. I do have to say that my feelings for this were quite mixed, just because for quite a big part of the first part in the book, maybe until here, or I don't know, like 150 pages maybe even, I almost DNF'd this book because I was just not feeling it. I just didn't care. I didn't feel like I was in the universe. I didn't particularly care what happened with the characters. I didn't understand what I did understand what was going on, but it just like nothing happened, and it was really slow. And this is coming from someone who loves slow books, but I am so glad that I continued. I don't think I've ever experienced such a 180 in a book, because this just changed so drastically. I think the whole build-up is so worth it because you do get necessary information for the second part to be so extremely engaging. This was one of those books that I just could not put down, so I actually had a hairdresser's appointment at that date when I remember I was just finishing it up, and I couldn't, and I said to him, I said, I'm so sorry, I know we usually chat, but is it okay if I just read my book, because I just didn't want to stop. And that really doesn't happen to me often. So while the first part was like 2 stars maybe, it just really rapidly shot up into being 4.5, 5 I would even say. And so the overall just so happened to be 3.5, leaning towards 4 stars. But in reality, I do appreciate that the first part is probably necessary for it. I just do think that a lot of people give up on this book too soon, and I don't blame them, because you don't want to waste time if you think you're not going to enjoy something. But I really did. So I think this is going to be all that I'm going to say about this book in a non-spoiler bit, and I'm just going to try and speak a little bit about this book with people who already read it. So bye-bye non-spoilery people, and I will see you very soon. And for you who have read this book, cool, let's talk about it. So first of all, I'm just gonna throw that out, that I'm gonna butcher all the names, so do not get triggered at me, because you have been warned. So first of all, that's cool. It's really funny because I didn't even try to pronounce that in my head, so whenever I would see that Ashbring, what the hell was the name of it? Oh man. You know, the school, the Raven Boys school, that name was unnecessarily complex. And then there was that naive person, Nia, you know, the evil aunt. Was she evil? What was her goal? Why did she want to wake this up? Like, what is happening? I also have a theory. Bear in mind that I only read this, so don't say anything that's gonna happen. Don't like confirm or disconfirm this theory of mine. But I have a feeling that maybe that Blue's father is actually maybe Glendower himself. I really do enjoy this ley line thing, and I actually, I don't know, it just has this like really nice mixture between the real world and the supernatural thing. It makes it sound like the supernatural could possibly be the part of our real world. Not that I believe that, but it makes it sound possible, which I appreciate. I felt like Blue's family was a bit like all over the place. I just feel like if she, why is she's supposed to be this like really cool mother, but then at the same time she's just hiding so many important bits and pieces about, especially about the father from Blue, which I just feel like it doesn't fit her character. That Noah was a ghost. This is gonna be a complete like incoherent all over the place thing, by the way, I'm just saying. That Noah was a ghost, that was something. I did not see that coming, and I loved it, especially how it tied in with the previous generation of the ley liners, let's call them like that, because you know the young teacher that would get his chapters sometimes, and Noah was actually his friend. I wonder how much Noah's personality has actually changed from him being a ghost now. I know a lot of people really like Ronan. Yeah, Ronan. I'm not necessarily that fond of him. I think that he's really... I bet that we're gonna get much more from his character in the second book because he's undercover. And that it's hinted that it's like, what's it called, the dream catcher or the dream thief. Just the fact that he sort of produced that bird from his dream or whatnot. I mean, he intrigues me, but his character sort of annoys me because I'm just like, calm your tits, man. You're being so unreasonable and annoying, and I just feel like he's so irresponsible, and it drives me mad. But I bet I will love him. I love them all, but just had to throw that out there. Gansey I'm not that crazy about either, but I do like him. I do really admire his like how he like honestly just doesn't know how to act normal and non-offending people. That was really cool. I really like how much we know about the characters even from this book. Adam was probably the main focus, and I think we know most about Adam. I think the reason probably for that is because Adam from this point onwards is gonna cease to be the Adam, because obviously he just welcomed the soul of the ley lines, or just the essence or whatnot, I don't know, into his body, and I'm not sure how much of Adam we actually gonna have from this point onwards, because clearly something happened to him, and I'm not sure, because he was like, oh, this is gonna be like the greatest of sacrifices, but I feel like he had like very selfish reasons to do that. It didn't seem like an act of heroism. It seemed like it had hidden... He's very driven and he's very ambitious, and I would definitely place him in Slytherin. I'm just gonna say that. He had this refusal of help all backwards. He thought that it makes him weak, but I do love the character. I think it's really realistic that he would be like that. I'm just saying that it's stupid. And it was annoying sometimes, but I knew that something would happen to Adam, because obviously we already know, and it's not a spoiler, that Blue is supposed to end up with Gansey, because obviously from her premonition and the visions in the tree, and we know that she's supposed to start loving him. And I can see that happening, and I like that it's not actually happened in the first book, because I like some build-up, because way too often nowadays we sort of get the books that they just like throw you into this like, oh, then they saw each other and then they lived happily ever after. Oh, but wait, this something big happened and they fell apart, but oh, it's okay, at the end they're gonna be happy ever after. And I am not above having the hate to love sort of transition, because I like that. So I really enjoyed that part. So I think now that we sort of gotten Adam out of the way, we're gonna focus on other boys in different books. I feel like some of the boys are gonna be a bit more main focus of the books than others. I really do, and I don't know, I keep saying I really do enjoy it, but I really do enjoy it. I love Capeswater. I love the bit with the time when they showed that the time stopped when they moved, and when they moved through the seasons, and when the tree spoke Latin, and when they found that writing where it was actually from Ronan's past or future, because time and space and everything is just so messed up in there. I love it. I don't know, I think that just the writing was so intensely grabbing, like you literally felt like you were there. And when I read about that time bit when they checked their clocks and everything, I actually got goosebumps. It was just so brilliant, and I cannot wait to go back into Caves Water. I think I'm gonna grab the second book actually after I'm finished with my Etiquette Espionage, because I need to read that first, but after that I think I'm just gonna dive back in here because I love it. So I don't even know if you got any interesting information from this video. I'm just sort of talking about it because, you know, I like it. It was just a shame that the first part of the book was so blah and I really didn't feel anything for it, but now I'm there. So now it's all good. Let me know what you thought about this book and chat to me in the comments. Be aware that not all the people who are gonna comment have read the book, so don't spoil anything for them. Be as vague as you can. Don't spoil anything from the next books, because I will be very sad and nothing will happen to you, but I'll be very sad, so it's not a nice thing to do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!